Initially, I was not interested in paying attention to this issue where some infamous celebrity passes some unfunny jokes or controversial comments on anything pertaining to India or its culture or its living standards to revive his or her dying career. Some of them have the guts to crack jokes on India in India, but some of the cowards do the same thing from foreign land. One of such proclaimed Veer, who is a das of foreign money and false fame, has just hit the headlines. I'm not dedicating this whole video to him, nor I'm going to tell this is my last video before I leave this platform or territory or whatever country I am reciting or telling or making this video from. So keeping aside all the sentimental drama, let's just jump on to the main video where I'm going to introduce my audience to the millions of Indias that I am a part of, where I live and which I am proud of. The only reason why I saw this video is that it created a lot of drama in the trend lists of my Twitter account. So this is the video, this is the introduction video of the Indias where I and the narrator of that poem or stand-up comedian Veer belong to. But before that, let me clear some of the points mentioned by my fellow Indian, whatever India he belongs to. So his first and foremost point was about the mask culture. So let me tell you, during the crucial months of April or May, where the whole world including India was fighting with the deadly virus to prevent the spread of the deadly virus, USA was the country which was in headlines just because of this news. USA was the most careless nation. And look at the irony. You are cracking a joke on the same issue in the same country which is accused of the same thing, and the moron audience is clapping their hands and laughing at you, at your jokes, at your self-proclaimed jokes. Jumping on to the next point, where the stand-up comedians introduces the topic of pollution. So if this whole video is called a stand-up comedy video, then I think this is the only joke in it. That too, a very scientific one. Let me show you today's pollution stats, or the AQI, where you can clearly see that Lahore tops the list with an AQI of 263, followed by New Delhi, which is nowhere near the AQI mentioned by aspiring poet come stand-up comedian. Even on the worst day, the highest recorded AQI of New Delhi is 1200. I don't know under the influence of which drug this script was written. Third point, rapes. Should I talk about it? Hey USA, I didn't want to bring this shameful topic in this video, but this Indian comedian, which I don't know which India he belongs to, has brought up this issue. So to the group of morons who are laughing and clapping on that misleading jokes by an unidentified India's stand-up comedian, I would like to say that USA tops the chart when it comes to the study of rape rates. And shockingly, the rape rates of USA is 15 times than that of India. Now people will come up with a point that around 99% of rape cases are not even registered, are not even reported in India. But can you guarantee that 100% rape cases in America or USA are reported? Later on in the video, Veerdas will be seen saying that people after this show will be asking me, where are the jokes? This isn't comedy. Where are the goddamn jokes? So this is the goddamn joke that he is presenting the stats of USA and defaming the USA in USA without mentioning USA. The next point which was put forward by the comedian in the camo dress is that we Indians want the Pakistani players to come to India and play with us. But hey Mr. Whatever Das you are, have you checked the facts before? Have you done your homework before you jumped on to write this script? Let me explain you loud and clear that Pakistani players are banned in IPL. And you think that they are not a part of IPL because of their own choices? So I doubt now that are you a comedian or a dumb kid? I know comedy is not about facts. It's just presenting something in satirical way that makes people laugh. But what you are doing is you are totally molding the facts in the wrong direction, and this is known as misleading the truth. Next he says that we scoff at sexuality, but we F till we reach a billion. So brother, I don't know whichever India you belong to, but I think sex education is must for you. You have skipped those classes of sex education where teachers were teaching about the difference between sexuality and having sex in actual life. They are two different things. I'll give you personal lessons if you will have a one-to-one call with me. And do you really think that Indians F a lot? Do they fuck a lot? For God's sake, someone please invent a time travel machine and take this Veerdas back to the school classes which he missed. We are a billion because we started from a million. We haven't started from thousands like other nations and just built up billions in just a short interval of time. It is a long procedure. But as you are proclaiming that you are standing in a stand-up comedy show, so every logic becomes void. But just for your information, in case you write some script, just have a little common sense in your videos. Comedy videos are not realistic but are relatable. There are many other points by which the stand-up comedian tries to revive his dying career with those jokes, but I'm not going to explain. There are many other points throughout the video where the comedian tries to revive his dying career, but I'm by cracking those gigantic jokes, but I'm not mentioning all those jokes and I'm not going to waste the time of my smart audience. So I would like to take you all to my version of India. I live in an India where people wear army dresses and abuse the soldiers of army, and yet I live in an India where all those peoples are forgiven due to the humble and very lenient government policies, and they call it sovereignty or secularism or anything of that name, but those asses are spared. I live in an India where comedians on the name of comedy can defame the Indian culture and Indian heritage and the women power or empowerment policies which India is famous for, which India is known for all over the globe. And yet in the same India, all those comedians are spared, their lives are spared, they can freely crack jokes on India. I live in an India where media houses are free to show tempered video which might agitate a large audience and give rise to communal disharmony, all in the name of rights. But in the same India, comedians are seen screaming for the rights to express and right of speech. I live in an India where political parties try to show and spread religious disharmony just for the sake of few votes. But at the same time, I live in an India where you cannot find any religious discrimination on ground levels. I live in India where people mind their own business and live their own peaceful lives. But at the same time, I live in an India where a small group of people, just for their own benefits, mislead the innocent audience or innocent people to lift the weapons and kill each other. And yet, I live in the India where all these vultures of humanity are spared, where all these morons, where all these separatists live under a sky and can freely roam throughout the country, any place, anywhere they will find supporters, and keep on spreading hate and commit same crime again and again, trusting the government policies, the humanities of Indians, of millions of Indians, and the judicial policies, the judiciary system. I live in an India where soldiers die because of the gunshot fired from the gun of a terrorist. But at the same time, I live in the India where terrorists are given equal rights to prove their innocence. And we spend more budget on a terrorist to keep him safe in the cells more than the comedian has ever donated in any type of relief funds. And finally, I live in an India where anyone can raise RTI against the government on which they don't trust and have never contributed to. There are not only two Indias which we belong to, there are 1.5 billion Indias, and one of them is here in me. So you are a smart audience, and you know who is misleading you and who is guiding you in the proper way. So another YouTuber, named Dhruv Rathi, says that we shouldn't oppose this video, and we should try to focus on our own things to make it a better India to live. So to him also, I would like to say, India will be bettered not by the government, not by the people of India, and not by these illogical speech attacks on India. If suppressing the voice of such mindless creatures can't develop India, so raising a voice against my India which I am absolutely proud of, is also not a solution. I will improve my part of India, and you have to improve your part of India. With this, I am signing off, and I will see you in the next video. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.